Hello, BookThinkers family. Today's book tip is going to come from The E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber, Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What You Can Do About It. As an entrepreneur, I loved listening to this book. I actually listened to the audio. My friend Derek had recommended it, so thank you, Derek. And there's this big misconception about what it means to be an entrepreneur. The E-Myth stands for the entrepreneurial myth. And most people think of this romantic view as an entrepreneur as this stoic warrior who can kind of stand up in front of any challenge and beat it head on and just crush any obstacle that comes their way. But businesses aren't necessarily started by people who can do that all the time, right? So what happens when those challenges arise? This book has a great blueprint for getting over some of those obstacles, because a lot of times you get somebody like a barber who's cutting hair, right? They're a technician and they'd like to start their own barber shop, so they take the jump. But what they don't realize is that cutting hair isn't what makes a barbershop run. It's the marketing, the advertising, the sales. It's negotiating the lease for the space that you're going to cut hair. It's properly finding ways to furnish your environment. It's doing payroll and taxes, hiring and firing people. It's all of those conversations, customer disputes, how to price competitively. That's what it takes to be an entrepreneur, but a lot of people take the jump the wrong way. They go from that technician to thinking that they can run a business. So this book helps guide those people in the right direction, as well as talk about what makes a successful business. Now, my biggest takeaway in today's book tip is that within every single small business owner, there are three personalities. There's the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. So the entrepreneur represents the future. It's everything that could go right in the business. It's that visionary personality that we all have. Oh, well, I think I could do this, or here's what I want to envision. Whereas the manager personality that lives inside us, the manager represents the past. It's the part of us that analyzes what's been done and says, oh, I could do it better this way next time, or I should have been doing it that way. It's the person that organizes everything after it happens. And then there's the present. That's the technician, the person that puts their head down, goes to work, and gets things done. Now, there should be an ideal balance, right? Because otherwise, each one of those personalities battles within us, right? The entrepreneur says to the technician, hey, stop working and start planning. But the technician says back to the entrepreneur, no, if we don't get work done now, it doesn't matter what your future vision says. So within the average person, there's about 10% entrepreneur, about 20% manager, and about 70% technician. So that imbalance, that uneven personality that's always talking within ourselves, or that uneven group of personalities, that's what causes so many of the issues and the problems that a small business owner faces today. So that realization made me kind of think, okay, well, with Book Thinkers, what's my journey been like? Did I start off with more of that entrepreneurial flair? I think so. And what about the technician part, actually putting your head down and doing the work? What's been interesting about this Instagram page specifically is that when I started it 18 months ago or so, I had all these big plans. I always created different cadences in which I would post things and different kinds of content. But then when it came to actually doing the work, the technician piece of things, I failed. I fell on my face a lot and I never actually got the work done. I never actually posted it. So what's been interesting is there's been a big reversal, and I think I'm starting to balance out a little bit more, where now I'm actually planning, but I'm doing the work, and then I'm managing by looking at my past work and saying, well, what could I do to improve it? Or how could I get a little bit better? How could I make 1% improvements in each one of these areas? So this new video style is a good example of ways to improve things. I've had this idea of filming in front of the bookcase instead of at my desk for a while now, but I just never did it. So now I'm doing it. The E-Myth Revisited is a fantastic book, and I highly recommend you check it out and read more about each one of those personalities that battles within us all the time. The entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. If you can get them in perfect synchrony, then you will be much more successful. And that is today's book tip. Bye.